everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of This Old Knit. I'm your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry and Pinterest, and you can find my blog at thisoldknit.blogspot.com, and we have a Ravelry group that's called This Old Knit, so come and find us and join. I just wanted to say again, thank you returning viewers for coming back, and thank you new viewers for checking me out. I really appreciate it. And this week I didn't write up any show notes. It's been kind of a long, rough week, and this weekend was also pretty tiring, and I feel a little bit like I might be getting sick. So I don't know how long this episode will be, but I did have a few things that I wanted to share with you, so I figured I'd go ahead and record what I could, and then we'll see how it goes. So I think this week, Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast, who's Volenvine on Ravelry, mentioned me on her podcast, and she actually answered one of the questions that I asked. I had asked her about her tops, and she mentioned a website named ModCloth, and I told her I'm not sure if I like her or don't like her right now, because the stuff is very cute, and I like it a lot. So Kristen, thank you for the recommendation, and I'll have to check that out. And she also mentioned H&M, and I've never actually been in that store. We have one in the mall that's near us, but we're always kind of going somewhere when we're there, so I don't have time to kind of browse and look around, but maybe I'll make some time and check that out as well. But yeah, I've never been in there. So anyway, I'm gonna jump into sharing what I got. So first,
Oh, you look wonderful. So beautiful.
Okay, Megwin.
Oh, you look wonderful.
Let me take the camera somewhere else.
Oh, you look wonderful.
Megwin. Okay.
I took a picture.
Okay, thank you. It's a very loud camera, honey.
How beautiful. Oh, you look wonderful.
Megwin. Okay. This is kind of how my weekend has been going. My husband sometimes gets gout, and he had a flare-up of it starting, I think, on Thursday or Friday. So it has been basically me kind of taking care of the kids and doing all the normal housework and trying to keep things together. And I already was really worn out from the week, so it's just been challenging, and I can tell that I'm getting kind of short with everybody, so, and now I don't feel well, so bleh. Anyway, yeah, bleh. So I poked my finger with a knitting needle right after I recorded the last podcast, and I wasn't able to knit for a couple of days because the hole was on my right index finger, which is the one I kind of push against when I'm knitting, which I will try to remember to record a little bit of in a minute. But anyway, I couldn't knit, so I cross-stitched because I do that all with my left hand, and I didn't have to use my right hand for anything. So I made a lot of progress on my Halloween town, and I took it out of the hoop so you'd be able to see it better. So I did the bakery, and now I can't see it to make sure I'm showing you the thing. Yeah, so I finished the words, I finished the roof, I did the grass at the bottom, I did the other wall, the path, the stuff on the witch. I've done her little, she's holding like a little trick-or-treat bucket. So I've got all the jack-o'-lantern parts.
Hey, my Mickey bracelet.
Great, I'm glad you found that, sweetie. So yeah, basically I just have the witch's hair, the cupcakes, and there's a little owl that's right here. And that's basically all on that side, and then I'll just have to finish up this side, which I haven't touched for a little while, but it's a a house, and a lamp. God, my brain It is a mess. So I'm happy with how that's going, and I actually got the, what do you call it, the notification that my fabric that I ordered a while ago for my Fibery Friends sampler, which I showed the thread and the pattern for. The fiber's coming, so I'll be able to start working on that. So I was hoping to finish up the Halloween Town one so I could work some on the Fibery Friends one. I don't like to have too many of them going at once. So then next I will show my blanket. And I am super happy about it because this end right here is the end of the unraveled yarn. So I'm really excited. Now I'm on to new yarn. I barely got to join it and do a couple of rows because I'm starting to do a mitered corner. But I'm so happy to be done with the old yarn, onto the new. Something went right this week. So here it is, and since last time we spoke, I put this marker on, so I've knit all along this side here up to here. So decent progress, and it's getting bigger. I still love it. It's super fun, and it's been a very mindless knit, which is nice. I actually had it on circulars because I lost my other double point. It fell off of my desk and Joshua took it off somewhere to gnaw on it, like babies do, but I found it. So it's back on double points, and I would suggest if anybody is thinking about knitting this, it was really annoying to knit it on circulars. And part of that could have been because I was using old clover bamboo ones I had because I didn't have any others in the size 7 that had a short cable. And the cable is really stiff on those. It's part of the reason I stopped using them. But yeah, I'm back to my double points and I like it because it's only you're only ever working 10 stitches, so it seemed kind of silly to have a circular just for that many stitches. So that's that guy. So I'm excited. New yarn. Next ball. See? But I got a lot out of that other one. Of course, that'll start to be less and less you get as the blanket gets bigger, but it's exciting. And then I cast on something brand new, never seen before on the podcast, with the suggestion from Molly of a Homespun House. And Molly, I apologize in advance. I took a video of my backyard and wanted to show everybody the spring flowers. And for some reason at the beginning I was talking about my geraniums and I said, your podcast was called This Old Knit. It obviously isn't. That's my podcast. But you just have to excuse my brain. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm functioning, kind of, sort of. So this is the Small Things sweater, and I showed the yarn last time, but I'm holding it double because it calls for worsted, and I didn't have anything green in my stash. My sister-in-law said she would like to have one in green, and then Molly said, well, why don't you just hold something double to get to worsted, which was a great idea. So here it is. That's what I've got so far. So this is the collar and this is the back. This is the front. Sorry, I'm using my other program again, and it's the whole reverse thing, so you have to think about how to hold stuff and move it around. But I really like it. So this garter is going to continue down the front on each side, but you do kind of a longer garter tab. And it's a wrap sweater, a wrap front sweater, kind of a kimono. And it'll have 2 buttons. One on Megan wants me to tell you it's a kimono again. I think she thought I said Komodo, which she loves pretending to be a Komodo dragon. But I said kimono, like the outfit. You know, like in Mulan. Yeah. Yeah, and it's tweed. And it has, oh good, the color's going to show up better.
Komodo.
Okay, Megan, I already said it. You can see the little speckles.
Komodo. No, not the thing you said. Komodo.
Okay.
You know the thing that starts with Komodo dragon?
Yeah, that's a different word. Okay, and I'm using little cupcake stitch markers. A fun little hat. There's a little pink cupcake.
Does this look like
And this
it will
one's a
fit
little
Baby Alive?
red one. I think Baby Alive's dress is over there, but that will fit her as well. So that's that.
What does Baby Alive dress look like?
It's that pink one with the green on it right in front of you. Look straight ahead on my yarn. Up on my yarn bags. You're looking the opposite direction of the right way. Yep. Pink with lime green. Yep, you're looking right at it. There you go. Follow directions. No, I will not put it on her right now. You can do it. You can do it.
But I can't.
Okay. Do I need to stop the video again? Okay. Pardon my baby aliving. Don't turn her on, okay? Because she's going to be too noisy. Or take her in your bedroom to turn her on. Alright. There you go.
That's your dress?
Thank you. Yep.
It looks kind of fancy.
It's kind of fancy. Okay. And then I cast on sock 2 of my Zig Zag Hitler socks. So here's the second sock. And it's obviously mirrored because the cables run up the outside edge. So I think I just had a little bit of ribbing last time. So I'm almost ready to start the heel flap. I think I need to do another maybe 15 rows. And then I'll be ready to start the heel flap. So that won't take me very long at all. And that is all that I'm working on right now. I'm trying not to have too many things on the go. I want to get these socks finished before the end of the month. And then I've been kind of focusing on the blanket because it's very easy. So it's something that I can quickly just do a couple of rows on and feel like I'm making progress. Some of the other stuff, not so much. My throat is super froggy. So we went to a park today and we met up with another friend of mine and her husband and their 2 children and played for a little while outside, but the cottonwood was already starting to come down. I could see it. And when I got home, I was just so exhausted. I literally felt like I was going to pass out from just being so exhausted. So we went to the grocery after that, and I brought the stuff in and I put it away, and I told my husband, I was like, I have to go lay down. And I basically fell asleep for like 2.5 hours. So it's probably a combination of allergies and whatever I'm potentially fighting off. But I've been drinking a lot of tea and just trying to keep my throat moistened. I'm going to tilt that down a little bit. Okay, Gwen, can you scoot that away from the toy box, please? It's scraping it. Scoot it this way, please. Why do you look like you're scared? Okay. No. Yep, that's why I told you to move it away, because it's scraping it. It's just the horsey scraping. So I am drinking out of my mug from Epcot. So a friend of mine from work just went to Disney World, and she also collects the mugs. She got into them because of me. And so she said she had seen online that all of the parks in Disney World have mugs, and there were, I think, 3 of them that were out at the time. So there was Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and MGM Studios, I think is what it's called, or I don't remember. It wasn't even built when I was there. So the last time that I was at Disney World, I think I was 8 years old. It was with my mom and my grandmother and my sister. And I'm 37 now, so do the math. They were just starting to build that section of the park. They had, like, there's a big water tower that has Mickey ears on the top of it. So they had that, and they had a temporary museum that had some of the stuff that was going to be housed in the exhibits later. And all I really remember is that they had the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz. So I thought that was really cool. And I think my friend said that those are now actually in something. A ride or something. I don't know. So it was basically just Epcot and Magic Kingdom when I went there. So anyway.
Are the batteries dead with this one?
Yes, the batteries are dead in that.
But how do you change them?
You have to take the flap off. Okay, so I'm going to try to tilt the camera down now and show you high knit. We'll see how well this goes. Okay, so I tension the yarn like this around my ring finger or my middle finger, and then I pop it over my index finger. Oops. And we are gonna have to come back this way.
No, I can't do my part.
You'll be able to do your part in a second, Megs. I'm trying to show people how I knit because people ask me. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it.
It's too low.
I'm going to move it back when I'm done. Okay. Alright. So I just pick my yarn like that. This is a lot slower than I usually go, but I don't know if you can even see. So that's it. Don't do that, Megwin. I'm trying to show them stuff. It's really hard to do, okay?
Okay. I hope they can see my eye.
I'm sure they can see your eye. Okay. So I'm going to pick. And I actually go pretty quickly. But, yeah, it's hard to see. And it's hard to do it at this angle. Maybe I'll try to take some other video with my my separate camera. I'll see if I can get my separate camera to pick this up better.
I turned it off.
Could you turn it back on, please?
Why?
Because I need that extra light. It helps the camera pick up better. Do it right now, please. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to get to the end of this row and then I'll stop.
Why did you bring this up?
If this isn't very good, I'll just edit it out.
Did you share this up here?
Nope, I found it behind the, behind your tent.
Can I share it?
Yes, you can share it.
This.
Bless you. Megan has some allergies as well, so she's been medicating her. She's been medicated with children's Claritin too. So hold it up kind of right here, because there's the dot right there for the camera. Okay, yep. Alright, what is this that you're showing us? Hold it still so we don't get dizzy. Okay, what is it?
I'll tell them what it is and tell
I'm
them
asking
about
you.
it.
Yeah, please do. I'm just going to hold it and you tell them about it.
Well, this is Baby Joss's tiger toy.
Mm-hmm.
Since Mommy's holding it up, I'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, this is Baby Joss's tiger toy. It's my favorite color, too. Remember last night? Remember not a long time ago, you know every color is my favorite.
You need to talk a little bit louder.
You know every color is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So, this tiger is brown, special to us. It's our toy. We all get to play with it. And
What does it feel like?
it feels like you got a big, a tiny tiger.
Mm-hmm. Is it soft?
And we can put it on our heads. It's tiny and soft.
What is inside of it?
There's fluff inside of it, and I can even make it say, "Hey, where are you going today?" That's hilarious.
That's Megwin's daddy voice. She sometimes imitates daddy.
When are you going to? When are you going to the ball?
Okay, sweetie. Are you all done showing that?
When are you going to the ball? This is my mommy voice, Mommy.
Is that your mommy voice? It's a great mommy voice.
You mean hilarious.
I'm glad you think that I sound like that. Okay, sweetie.
When are you going to the ball, Wicked?
Do you have to cut you off? Or are you all done with your section?
Woo, I'm going to the ball today now.
Okay. I'm going to stop it soon. You done? Okay. Thank you. Alright. So that's all my works in progress. I don't really have anything else planned to cast on. Let me think. Oh, yeah. So I want to make something for Melinda, who's Yarnder Woman. She has the Yarnder Woman podcast.
Please show them this card for Emma.
Sure. I would like to make something for her pop culture cow. And I'm trying to decide between either Hermione's Everyday Socks, Ginny's cardigan. Okay, I think they've seen it, honey. Or the hitchhiker shawl. So I don't know which of those that I'll do. She isn't requiring that you finish it within the time frame. And obviously I'm not getting a ton of time to knit right now. So yeah, I don't know which one I'll do. I've always wanted to make a hitchhiker. Meg would get that off my face, please. Okay. Last thing, and then I'm going to cut this short because, yeah, we're all kind of tired and cranky and out of sorts from this weekend. So it's been challenging. It's been challenging with the kids. But we're keeping it real here, so it's not all idyllic. Is it idyllic for anyone? I don't think so. So I was up here in the kind of craft room / playroom looking at stuff this morning, and I ran across this issue of Interweave Knits that I had, and I'd kind of forgotten about this one. I hadn't really looked through it much, so I was just kind of cruising around, killing some time. I was up really early this morning with Joshua, who's sleeping a little bit better, but he's still getting up very early. So there's multiple sweaters in this issue that I actually would like to knit, and I don't know why I didn't remember about it. So I tried to go and add them into my queue, and I also just bookmarked it. So I usually have like little tabbies on my magazines of stuff I want to knit. So the first one that I really liked out of here is this one. It's called the Rope Maker Pullover, and it's got a pocket on the front, which I love. There's a lot of glare. Let me move this magazine back. Not sure if that makes it better or worse. There's a side view. Trying to figure out where the glare is coming from so I can block it. But it's got this nice little pocket. It's kind of like a sweatshirt type cut, but a nice knitted sweater. I've been kind of looking for those sorts of designs because that's the style I wear on the weekends, or cardigans. I love cardigans. Speaking of cardigans, I love this one as well. And I think Amanda May 84 on Ravelry said she liked this sweater a lot. Or she said she wasn't sure whether she loved it or didn't. But I do like it. I don't know that I would ever actually button this collar up. It says that you put the buttonholes and you put buttons on both sides. So if you wanted to, you could button it all the way up and have a nice cowl neck. But I don't know if I would ever do that. I suppose you could put them on there just so you could have the option. And this one is actually one that I really like. It's totally my style. Except for the emo sleeves. Sorry everyone, I associate these having your fingers in, or having a place for your thumb in the cuff with total emo and chewing on your sleeves. So, not my thing, but that's fine. Most people that have knit it on Ravelry actually omitted that and made the cuff shorter, which saved them a little bit of yarn. I actually would maybe make it 3/4 sleeve because I really like the bracelet sleeves or 3/4 sleeves sweaters. I think it allows it to be a more year-round type piece. And I think there was one more in here that I liked. But like I said, I haven't done all my page markers yet. I like this men's sweater a lot. It's very nice. And then, oh, this one. I like that sweater a lot as well. Again, with the cable kind of hidden pocket. And a little bit of a shawl collar. It's a very nice shape. So, I was just surprised that I forgot completely about this magazine and it had so many sweaters that I would potentially knit. Typically, I have subscribed to Interweave Knits, and every year I think when I get the spring issue and the summer issue, I'm not going to renew this year. I'm not going to renew. And then I get the fall issue, and they suck me in. And usually like this, there's about 3 different things that I want to knit, and then I say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and renew again. And then the same thing happens. So this year I'm not falling into that trap. I'm just going to buy the issues that I want, because I usually don't really care for the spring and summer stuff. They tend to do a lot of really drapey, flowy, loose shirts, and that's just not my style at all. I don't look very good in those things, I don't think. They don't fit my body shape very well because I'm very top heavy, so I have very broad shoulders, a fairly large bust, and an average waist. But this whole part, I'm kind of triangle shaped, I would say. So if you put kind of a flowy garment on me, it just makes everything look huge because it hangs off of my bust, and I don't like that look on me at all. So, yeah, I just have I've very rarely seen stuff in the Interweave Knits spring or summer that was my style. Now, they do have their other one, that Knit Scene. The Knit Scene, usually I like most of that stuff. So I did get a subscription to Knit Scene when they started having them, and I've been enjoying that magazine quite a bit. So, anyway, who knows when I'll actually get to knitting any of these, but I would like to knit a sweater for myself before the end of this year, just to say that I've done it and actually finished one. I'll probably finish my spring garden tee first, the one I showed last time, because I'm not very far from the end. I'm about at the, I was done with the increasing back out from the waist, so I just have to knit straight. And that I can totally do, and then pick up the tiny bit for the sleeves. So I will leave you now. Gonna go start winding stuff down with the kids, and get ready for bed, and potentially we'll see how I do with not getting sick this week. I might just take tomorrow to try and feel better, because this tiredness seems like it's a precursor for being sick. So I hope everyone has a fantastic week, that you do all of the knitting that you want to, and get some time for crafting to spend doing what you like. And I'll cross my fingers I can do the same. So until next time, happy knitting, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye. Hey everybody, so I wanted to show you the garden a little bit more and the yard now that things are starting to perk up for spring. So I actually just finished watching the episode of This Old Knit, and Molly mentioned geraniums, so here's one of my geraniums. Here's my hand for some scale. You can see it's massive. It was just a tiny thing when we got it. And then there's some lungwort spreading. And here's some more. This variety is called Dark Vader, which I love. See, Dan? I'm even a nerd with my flowers. And here's more Dark Vader lungwort. And this is actually Sweet William, which is a wildflower around here. And ignore my weeding because it needs it, but here's a ton of Sweet William. You can see all the little white flowers down in the thing here. And I was going to walk on the path. There's more. And show you kind of our little wildflower patch. We have quite a large one that is just sad broken trampoline that we need to get rid of, but it was free from some neighbors. So we have a patch of wildflowers that last time I recorded. There's Migwin's deer. Last time I recorded they were not blooming yet, but they are now. And we actually don't mow our backyard. We let it be in kind of its natural state. The grass doesn't get super high because most of it is actually very shaded. And then, like I said, we have all those wildflowers. So we just mow a tiny section. Just the part that we're looking at straight ahead right now. That part we do mow because it sometimes gets kind of long. Sorry if I'm bouncing. I'm trying very hard to walk. Not bouncy. Okay. And you can see there's like patches of violets over here. Let me get close to one. There you can see it. There's the violets. They make the lawn look almost purple from far away. And there's our creek. You remember last time I showed it, it was very high. Kind of low now. Drop down. So we're going to walk over here. And here's the start of our wildflower patch. You can see all these, I don't even know what they are. They're like small, very pink. They're white with like bright pink stripes on them. And like small pink stamens. And what I like is that if you hold still for just a few minutes after you get next to the patch. Oh, there's a squirrel over there. Hey, little guy. Oh, is he? He's at the base of that tree. Hey, dude. You're looking at me, looking at you. Looking at me. If you stand still for a few minutes, all the little critters start to come back out again. So we have tons of bees and pollinators and stuff. So when you stand still next to the patch, it actually looks like it's alive and moving because there's just so much activity. Oh, the squirrel's coming back down. Clearly I'm not threatening. So these are the paper whites that are growing wild next to our creek. So these were not bloomed last time. And often these don't stay very long because Megwin comes and picks them. Alright, squirrel, we're moving on. You do your thing. We have a lot of squirrels in our yard, and 2 albino squirrels as well. Okay, here's more of our patch. And I will see if I can stand still for a few minutes and see if we can capture some bee activity. I don't know if it'll work or not. Okay, so I'm gonna get down low. Hopefully you can see all the great flowers. I can't really see the screen, so I don't know what's kind of going on, but I mean, it's a literal hive of activity out here. They're so small, you probably can't see them. But it's really cool. I mean, there's hundreds of bees just flying all around, pollinating. We love this time of year. I've counted at least 5 different varieties of bees. We have bumblebees, the standard honeybee, but we also have ground bees, borer bees. There's a couple of others. I'll put a link to it. So I love that we're providing habitat for all of them, because a lot of bees are having a ton of problems now with just losing habitat. And here there's a bunch of grape hyacinths. There's a better area further on that I'll show you. There you go. These are also wild. They just pop up in our yard. They're these beautiful bright purple flowers, and I love them. They're so fun. So there's tons of those everywhere. And then the last thing we have going on is the magnolia. It's too early for the catawba. It doesn't even have leaves yet. But here is the magnolia tree. And you can see it's just these beautiful pink and white blossoms. They're actually dark pink and light pink, but they probably look white to you. And it's, yeah, just gorgeous. I love them. So that is what my yard is looking like in spring. We'll go for a closer look. Oh, and it smells wonderful too. I don't care that I'm allergic to tree pollen. I love it. They're just so pretty. Okay, thanks for sharing with me.